evening, everyone. Welcome to Janderra. I'm Garrowen, and it's the weekly chat and catch up. So, wanted to go through and share with everybody some of the stuff that we've been doing on the homestead this week, and share some of the things that we've found out about this week, which is really interesting. At least I think it's interesting, and I'd love to share it with you all. So basically, we've had an interesting week. With all sorts of things happening. Queensland went into lockdown for 3 days. That was southeast Queensland went into lockdown for 3 days, and Brisbane itself went into lockdown for 4 days. My father-in-law got married, which was awesome. After 7 years of being a widow, he's now found a new wife, which is absolutely wonderful. Very happy for him. Last week we went to Bunnings at Plainland, and they were running workshops, and I got to plant a tomato, which I gave to Jonathan. The boys and I were sowing some seeds, and they've actually done up a Shed Wars Youth Division video that goes along with there. So this video here, where I'm actually
Good
going
afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Janderra. I'm Garrowen, and this afternoon.
So this is some of the seeds that the boys were planting. That was the seeds I was planting. Theirs are up. The boys are up there. And I've got links in. I don't have links in the comments. How bad am I? I do have cards though. So that's Matthew's Shed Wars Youth Division video, and this one's Jonathan. I mean, how cute is he? He's such a little adorable creature. Love him to bits. He's so sweet. But yeah, so they've got their videos there. I need to pop those links into the actual description. Look at him. He's such a little cutie. Both boys are. Matthew's actually turning 12 this week. It's absolutely amazing to think he's turning 12. He's nearly as tall as I am too. So we planted some seeds. That was back on the 23rd of June. So it was still a little bit over a week ago, but I uploaded it a week ago. Got our Sunday Night Live prayers from last week. Had to redo some stuff with the aquaponics because I made a bit of a mistake. I made the standpipe too tall, so I had to make some adjustments for that. We went and checked out. We actually went to the Hyperdome to find some pants and some clothes for the boys for the wedding. So we were at the Hyperdome, and they had a really cool safari type thing display. So I took a bit of a video of that. So that's what that is. And did an update on my Gladiator 4 challenge video. And we had spies turn up. So you've got to go check out that one. That one's a lot of fun. And the roof saga continues. Hey, Nettie. Thanks for joining us. It's always lovely to see you. So the roof saga continues. We have been given a very large quote to replace a large portion of our roof because it's got bits of corrugate, and the corrugate is actually not the same profile, so it can't marry up. And it's just so many little sheets that have been stuck together, and it's no wonder it's leaking. It should have been replaced in the very beginning. They shouldn't have even tried to repair it because it just wasn't going to work, and it cost us a fortune. So yes, Gavin was working on removing some. Nettie, there is no need to apologise, beautiful. You do an amazing job. Gavin's been removing some stumps using fire, a fire pit. Actually, not some stumps. I've only got one so far. Actually, no, he did do one back before we set up the big aquaponic system, because the stump was actually right in the road of where we wanted to put the aquaponics. So we did a fire pit there, but we didn't do anything fun with that one. This time, we actually did fun stuff. So this is Matthew making some damper. So made some damper with the boys, and some potatoes in their jackets and all that sort of good stuff. But had lots of fun. Yeah, we got rain. We've had about 27 mil of rain this week, which is amazing. Very unusual for this time of year. More adjustments for the aquaponics. And the boys actually also have planted up some of their own, planted up, put some plants in the aquaponics. So this is the bed that the boys are sharing. So they've planted out some lettuce and some beetroot. Although they didn't actually plant it out like this, I had to come along and help them and fix it. Hi, Wild. Thanks for joining me or joining us. So the boys have planted some beetroot and some lettuce in the aquaponic system. Matthew and Jonathan have got their little Shed Wars Youth Division videos. And I'm pretty sure I've got links to those in the description of that video. So there's Jonathan's videos link, there's Matthew's videos link, and there's my videos link. So yes. Oh, I also do I go through and show, what am I doing? So further along in the video, I give an update on how the big aquaponic system is going, because I've gone through and trimmed a lot of it back. I actually harvested 3.5 kilos of celery. That's a lot of celery. So yeah, but it's all doing really, really well. Strung up the snow peas. I've taken a heap of cuttings off the peller in preparation for the masterclass that's going to be down on Boddington Farm. Now I've got cards in this video that have links for the scheduled live at down on Boddington Farm. So that one's in there. But I've taken all these cuttings off the peller and I've stuck them in the aquaponics just to hopefully get them to strike before the masterclass. So there's a fortnight before that's happening. But see, the aquaponics is doing really, really well. I have taken out a heap of stuff, and I've got another video coming up shortly that is going to show my sweet potato absolutely explode. Not sweet potato, kale is just jumping out of the bed. So take notice of, in this video, I think I show, where is it? On here somewhere. I may not pay that much attention to it in this video because it was quite small. I think it's down there. There it is. I mean, look at this, is really, really small. But in the videos coming up after this, you'll see just how much it's actually grown. Hey Ed, welcome to the weekly chat and panel catch up. If anyone wants to come up and join the panel, the link is pinned to the top. It should work, although it seems to be a lot longer than they usually are. The kale just absolutely has gone berserk. But the boys have had a lot of fun making their Shed Wars Youth Division videos. As I said, I got a link for Jonathan's in the cards. For some reason, Matthew's wasn't linking nicely, so I've got to go back and try and do that. Oh, cool! You just spoke to Adam. Is he going well? But I got links to Jonathan's and Matthew's Youth Division, Shed Wars Youth Division videos in my video that's related to what they've done. So yes. So that's about. And then, was it? Hi, Kalniram. It's nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Down on Boddington Farms live last night, a few people were mentioning that they were having trouble finding the live for, like, the scheduled video for the masterclass. So Adam's doing very well and he's tired. I think he starts heading home tomorrow. Cool. I will be praying for a safe journey for him. It's Jason. Oh, hello, Jason. it's nice to actually know your name. It's lovely to have you here, Jason. Thank you for joining us. Oh, the boys are just having so much fun making the videos. They really are. And they are really loving watching their plants grow. They are getting a little bit competitive on who's got the most strawberry flowers and strawberries growing on their plants. It's really funny. So yes, okay, back to down on Boddington Farm. So I do have so I'll actually show you. So this is the actual scheduled video for the masterclass that's coming up. Always welcome, Jason. Always welcome. So this is the scheduled video for the masterclass that's coming up. I'll pop that link in the chat. There you go. But to be able to find it, so I've heard a lot of people say that they can't find scheduled lives on their friends' channels on a computer. So I've actually done a video up showing you how to do that. But since you're here, I will show you now. So basically, you come into their channel and check it out. Bibby and Agent have cracked the 600. Congratulations down on Boddington Farm for catching the 600 subscribers. But to find their scheduled live, you click on videos and you look at that. They're calling it a masterclass and a collaboration type thing. I mean, I'm not quite sure how it's a collaboration other than the fact that there's going to be 3 channels at Down on Boddington Farm. So we're actually going to be doing it at Down on Boddington Farm, and they're going to be running a live videoing the whole event. There were a lot of comments last night. They had a pretty busy live last night, actually. Yeah, so if you come onto Bibby and Agent's channel on Down on Boddington Farm, it's got their uploads here. It doesn't actually have their lives generally. It does have some of the past, like it has their past lives. So this is last night's, the one we're talking about, because Agent's actually in Cairns. Yeah, so to find a upcoming live on someone's channel, now this applies to anybody's channel, not just Down on Boddington Farm. But if you come over here to where it says uploads, you see this little arrow? You click on this little arrow and you click on upcoming live streams. If you want to check past live streams, they've got it there. But the upcoming live streams is what you want to be able to find the schedule for the masterclass that we're going to be doing on the 17th. Now, I am 99% certain that the time it has for this will actually be based on your local time. So for me, it says 10 a.m. on the 17th. For you, it'll say whatever time it's going to be in your area. And you can stick the little reminder on as well. So yeah, that's basically it. It's not super complex, but it is a little bit different than finding other stuff. Nettie, I really don't know how you're going to manage coming unless you bring the lambs with you. Nettie's, for all those that don't know, Silhouette Park Farm, Nettie has just had 2 little lambs born. And unfortunately, the mother she's a first-time lammer and she has rejected. Now finding them on a phone is a totally different prospect. I will go through that in another video. I can't screen capture my phone while I'm doing StreamYard, unfortunately. I am using StreamYard to do my video at the moment, but I've got the computer running the actual interesting stuff. So I can't do screen sharing on my phone, which is unfortunate. It's the real Mike the Caveman. Hey, Mike. Good morning, sir. I hope you've had a good night's sleep. So this is Wild Edibles. taking over Mike the Caveman's phone. This is the real Mike Caveman. It may show up from the homepage. I'm not sure. I will have to check that and get back to you. But yeah. It's so fun catching up with other channels. I absolutely loved it when you guys came and visited. That was so fun. So fun. But if you haven't seen Nettie's video on the lambs, see if I can pop it up here and show you. Well, that's Nettie. Nettie's awesome. We love Nettie. Nettie is brilliant. If you haven't seen Silhouette Park Farm, you've got to go check her out. But look at the two little lambs. Aren't they adorable? But yeah, so check out the video. Karen did have two gorgeous little lambs, and Nettie does need all our love and support because she is having to take care of these two little beautiful babies. If anyone wants to come up on the panel, feel free. Please come and join me. Nettie, I totally agree. We definitely should also just do a catch up where we all just catch up. That's always fun, and it's a lot less. It's a less stressful too when you're not. Although I think it's harder to actually organise just a catch up. People are really good at doing things when something's planned, but yeah. That's the only video with Karen that you'll show. Yeah, it's a good idea. Poor Karen. It's not easy being a first-time mum, especially when you go and have twins. And they're so cute. She had a little boy and a little girl. I'm not going to tell you too much, though. Go watch Nettie's video. So, yes. I've got all sorts of interesting videos coming up. There's lots of exciting things happening that I'm uploading this week. I discovered a lot of interesting things in the yard today that I did videos for. And I'm working on only uploading one video a day. There's just too many interesting things happening. And then I have other days where nothing happens. So, yeah, farm events. Your farm events sound absolutely awesome, Nettie. I'm looking forward to when you guys start doing those again. But yes. Oh, that's not what I supposed to. Oh, you didn't distract me. I'm just wandering today. One thing I do want to share with everybody, though, and I mentioned it in my Sunday Night Live prayer, was I've just found out about a group of people that are helping orphaned Indigenous Australian children. They're creating an actual family model for them. So it's like a home-based situation where everybody in the home is actually Indigenous and can actually work with the people. So the group is called In Building Strong Families, Generational Care. So they're really hang on, I missed something there. The cross is called an ice cream bar. I'm not sure. I think I missed something. Oh, I found my first blue egg yesterday. My Isobar leg bar cross laid her first egg. Oh, okay. And it's called an ice cream bar. The cross is called ice cream bar. Okay, that's cool, Wild. Your first blue egg. How exciting. Have a good one, Jason. Thank you for joining us. Ah, hello, Tom. It's nice to see you. But yeah, so I'll go into a little bit more information about what Building Strong Families Generational Cares, what some of the things that they do. So they've got information on their website, and I will leave this in the chat. So at the moment, they're actually raising funds. Oh, on your way to go fishing. Have fun, Ed. Hope you catch lots of fish. Always lovely to see you, Tom. So these guys, they develop programs for individuals, families, and even small groups in the communities like neighborhoods, clubs, and age categories. They have child safety services. So the Blue Card certified, qualified, and experienced staff can provide services for children, young people, and families involved in government and child safety system. They also do cultural appraisal stuff. So they conduct cultural appraisals of policies, procedures, and programs for companies and organizations and departments. So they do a lot of stuff. I don't really understand a lot of it. And I know there can be a lot of cultural differences between Indigenous Australians and non-Indigenous Australians. And there can be a lot of points of contention is possibly a good way to put it. I don't know. I don't know. But these guys, it is their culture. They know how to talk to their people. So services for families involved in child safety. Their aim is for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children and young people to maintain connections to their family, community, and culture throughout their interaction with the Department of Child Safety. They offer facilitated family support, preventing an intervention prior to children being removed. In-home support facilitated culturally safe, appropriate support for daily, weekly routines. And residential care, safe, stable, immediate, short-term and long-term. And they've got care management stuff and all sorts of other things. There's just a huge amount of stuff here, and they know their mob. That's all there is to it. Hey, Robert, thanks for joining us. It's always lovely to see you. Have you had your coffee yet this morning? So their board and staff have lived in cultural and community experience. I mean, they are Indigenous Australians. They know their history. Solutions that avoid generational trauma is something that they really aim to provide. Our board of directors, management, and staff have more than 35 years of experience in understanding what it takes to have an effective impact on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander families and communities. These have been developed into our cultural safety model that informs our cultural appraisal services so that they can help others to become effective and strategically influential when they want to establish, develop, and implement their own policies and procedures and practices. This. Lots of interesting stuff that they do. I have no clue about any of it, other than I'm pretty good at trampling on people's toes and need to learn not to. I'm learning. But yeah, they do a lot of really great stuff, and at the moment they're working on setting up. They've just finished setting up a home for young girls and provided it so that they've got all of the staff that work in the home they're all Indigenous, and they're working on providing them with Wild. I'm so sorry. I just noticed you were hiding in my basement. I hope you haven't been there too long.
Yeah, 5 hours.
You've been there for 5 hours? That's pretty impressive. I'd only been online for 27. And that didn't sound like Wild's voice either. That sounded like Mike.
Yeah, it's Mike too. The roosters kind of woke him up.
Naughty roosters.
We tried out the rooster collar. It's kind of working.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I wanted to show you something on, because I have Mike's phone here and I have my phone, and I see a scheduled live. So I thought maybe I can show you on my phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So just turn this around. There we go. I think the other camera was working better. There. Right here is my friend Ariella's live. And this is on my home. So I just click the home button here in the corner. And it takes me to my home page. There's my friend Ariella's live. And we can go and hit on that. What are these cameras? That one is the one that I wanted. And then you can hit the reminder right here. Right? And then
Yeah.
it'll beep at you. Hear that?
You can be a bit noisy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, I'm guessing you haven't had Down on Boddington Farms live come up on your homepage though.
It should be there.
Probably depends on how many lives
Well,
you've got scheduled.
yeah, there's
For other
probably
channels
more
that you
than
know.
there. I have an old live of Silhouette Park Farm on there. Yeah, I'm subscribed to over like 5,000 people. So I
That's a
don't get,
lot.
yeah. And they won't tell you if it's over 5,000 how many you are. Some
Mhm.
too, because that's a cutoff number. So I really don't know how many people. So my inbox is full in like 5 minutes. So I turned off all of the reminders on my phone for lives, or it would just beep all the time, nonstop beeping. So I have Mike's phone set up because he's not subscribed to everybody. He's subscribed to our friends. So that helps out a
Aha!
lot that way.
See, now I
So
feel very privileged.
yeah, well, you can go in through the settings
Hmm.
and you can turn that part on or off, but
Hmm.
you have to play in your phone settings. I think everyone is different, right? So you kind of have to fool around with your phone and find out where everything is. And if you
Yeah.
ever have a problem with your phone where you got it from, because they can give you the information on how to fix what you're doing. And
Always a good plan.
they're happy to help.
Mm.
So
Now, Ed was saying he's going fishing right now, and he was saying to Robert, saying, doesn't he wish he was fishing too? Robert's going, no, he just wants a big cup of coffee.
yeah.
And Tom's going fishing later, and Silhouette Park Farm love going fishing.
We love going fishing too, but today we got to deal with some roosters. So we're keeping a couple of them, but I don't know how we're going to keep them if the collars aren't working very well.
They're not working.
Well, a little
That's
bit,
always a challenge.
little bit.
Now,
But
what's this Wow 5000 about? What did I miss?
yeah, I know.
I do love roosters crowing, but
I'm kind of getting used to it, but everybody else is not. So
yeah. Okay, Robert, what's this 5,000 bit?
is that how many people that I'm subscribed to, Robert?
Yeah.
I think it's over 5,000, but they won't tell you.
Ah.
Then, like, if you look on your set, like, where you go to saved videos or like your watch later list can only have 5,000 on it. And
Wow.
your likes, they will only show your
Yes,
last
that's right.
5,000 likes. So I think 5,000 is a number, but like when you subscribe to a bunch of new people, they
Mhm.
unsubscribe you from people. If you got like 5,000 people, they unsubscribe you from a lot of people because you got
Wow.
so many that they will unsubscribe, right? I think it's a computer thing to make sure you stay around that number, maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing what computers do.
Hey, baby. It sounds like Agent's going fishing on Thursday.
Yeah, I heard that. Good luck, bud.
And Andy's lurking.
Hi, Andy.
Hey, Andy. Oh, dear. So what have you been up to this week, Will?
Chickens.
And roosters.
Getting
Apparently,
in trouble.
apparently with the roosters, if they are in a box or a container that they can't stand up in, they can't crow.
That would make sense too.
Because they've got to stretch out their neck to be able to crow.
They
So
do
maybe
it.
that you could put them in a box at night and then
Yeah.
take them out in the morning.
Well, we have rabbit cages planned for them at night, like a rabbit pen. So that kind of size thing would work out good.
Mm.
So, and then they can go back out in the daytime. It's only, what is it, 11 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning. We have noise bylaw.
Mhm.
So anybody making noise for any reason in between those hours can get in trouble for it.
Ah,
And they come in, then they have permission basically to go everywhere and look at every animal. And when you're raising
you
rabbits
don't want that
and
much attention.
chickens, I don't want attention.
No.
And 10 silky roosters is a lot of attention.
Yes. And they're a bit difficult to find other homes for too.
Oh, they are. That's why we got a deal on ours. 10 silky roosters, $60 delivered. And they're of maturity age. So
Okay.
they're fertile and everything right now. So a couple of days with my girls, then I have babies some more, right?
Yeah.
So we
Oh,
do
you'd
look
need a
out
couple of
for
weeks.
them.
You'd need a couple of weeks to make sure that they're fertile
That's right.
after being with the rooster.
Yeah. Um, with these roosters, when I got them, I realized how good quality they are too. They have the big hair at the top, the beard, and the colors and everything are really, really nice on them. So they're really cool looking ones. So I think we really got a good deal on breeding stock if we took them all. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Oh, Andy's saying he's got a great recipe for steamed garlic and ginger roosters. He did it with quails, but it would apply the same for chickens. I think he's actually got that on his channel, actually. And Biddy's about to put 2 chickens and 4 cats in Agent's crab pot. He gets turned into crabs instead. Oh, I think your internet's misbehaving.
You see
There's
them
our
there?
rooster.
He's got a little
He's
collar
a
on.
pretty boy.
Collar's on, but I think it needs to be a little bit tighter. This is a
Probably.
partridge one, I think. Maybe Nanny can tell me. This one a partridge color. It's got white up here and then brown and black. Oh, it's okay.
Silkies are definitely not my specialty.
Nanny got a bunch of them lately, though.
She does.
Yeah. She might be
Roosters
able
are
to tell me
driving
when
Tom nuts. Nettie's got 2 lambs in her lounge room. Does that count?
Yes.
Andy's saying the rooster's got good legs.
They're nice and fluffy and furry.
I think he's thinking about underneath the feathers.
Yeah. we had to do a couple down the other day. Yesterday we did our roosters that we had, and they have black skin, the silky ones.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, but we're interested in trying it. We don't worry about trying anything new. So, and for $6 a bird, some for supper, couple for breeding, I think it works out for a really good deal, you know? So,
Yeah.
and then we have food on the foot too.
You do.
Yeah,
Cheaper than having it in the freezer.
it is. And if the power goes out, I'm still okay.
Yes.
We got a fireplace.
Now, Bibby. That's not Bibby. My chat's moving too quickly. Nettie's latest video does go into details on Karen and the baby lambs. But yeah, Nettie's looking after 2 babies. Robert says silkies are cool. And Nettie's saying silky colour confuses the poop out of me. People call them different colours, but I'm talking to a breeder this week for clarification on colours so I can get back to you. So there you go, Wild. Nettie will get back to you on that one.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't look at Frizzles without laughing either. Frizzles are the funniest. Robert said that silkies are cool, and Andy said, not when you steam them.
Not when you steam them. Or bake.
Oh, dear. Hey, Bibby, it's all good. Wild just said she had 5,000 subscribers before, and not 5,000 subscribers, but 5,000 channels that she was subscribed to. And then when Robert said, wow, 5,000, I'm like, 5,000 what? I didn't even have a sleep. You don't need to have a sleep to forget stuff. Hey, it's Adam. Hey, Adam. Welcome. And of course, your beautiful wife says hello too. Things have gotten pretty nutty at your place, Adam. But Adam says they all taste the same to him. So how are you doing, Mike? Other than being woken up by roosters?
I'm good.
That's
How
good
are
to
you?
hear. I'm a bit bouncy today.
Sounds like it.
I haven't been this bouncy on a Sunday night for a long time, so I'm thinking it could be the damper I made this afternoon and the potatoes that we wrapped in alfoil and chucked in the fire, which I then put sour cream and onions and bacon in. Oh, it was really yummy. But I think maybe I've had a little bit too many carbohydrates. So I'm a bit bouncy. Hi, Peter Dell. Lovely to see you here. I am very bouncy and bubbly tonight.
You look cheery.
It's really unusual. It's actually really interesting because the last few Sunday nights I've just been so tired, and tonight I'm like, oh yeah, I'm bouncing all over the place. How you doing, Andy?
Hi, Andy.
Hey y'all. Did that sound come through okay?
It sounds okay here.
Perfect.
I don't think you're having an echo problem tonight, but
No, well, I've worked out that if you turn YouTube off, this SteamYard thing works pretty bloody good.
it does help. StreamYard does not work well with YouTube playing at the same time.
Sorry, I'm just sorting a few chords out here. Can I mention, Garowin, how are you going with your Madagascar beans?
I actually have just done a video on that today. It'll come out in a couple of days. Still no flowers or beans.
Oh man.
I suspect it's just not getting enough sunlight. So I'm going to try planting another one somewhere else. I just haven't decided where I'm going to put it yet.
Probably right. I put them on the north side of my yard so they get heaps and heaps of sun.
Yeah.
Now, the
And
other
mine-
thing that's a miracle
Yep.
for me, because I've got a couple of foods that I reckon people think is kind of good for nothing but compost. Madagascar beans are one of those. And they're really, really good if you cook them right. Well,
Okay.
the other one is the pigeon pea, which I
I've
put in.
heard the pigeon pea's edible.
I put it in the yard to set nitrogen in my really bad patch.
Yeah.
Tonight, I nailed the pigeon pea curry.
Nice.
Lordy,
We got a video on that, I hope.
Oh yeah, it's good.
I'll have
It's
to have a look at that
really
one.
good.
I just
Yay.
watched that one. It's really good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They
In them, they're
Well-
really cool.
the Indians call it tur dal.
Okay. Sounds like Adam found a heap of opals today. And
Where did
no,
you-
Bibby,
where
I
did-
have not had any red cordial. I'm just having a
did you-
really bouncy day.
Where did you do your opals, Adam? I hate that rooster.
Just ignore
Not as
They'll look
much
like-
as Mike does.
Either that or I suspect I could love him steamed with ginger and bloody garlic.
I suspect you would too.
Oh,
Peter, my garden is going lovely at the moment. I actually did a garden tour a couple of days ago, I think. So yes, and deploying little frogs all over the place.
Oh, I saw that one.
she said a lot, so I can't lift it up.
My boys are having a lot of fun with deploying the frogs and the chickens.
You can lift it.
Nice. Mike, what are you talking about back there? Good kill that.
There you go. Oh no, Adam's at Quilpy.
Quilpy, okay. I got to share the. I'm a bit of a rock hound as well, which I've left off YouTube. So I do a fair bit of cabochoning. For those who don't know, you take a slab of rock and you sort of sand it up, and you end up with a nice, pretty stone that you can set in silver. So I've done a fair bit of silversmithing as well now. Loving it, loving it.
You're just a jack of all trades, aren't you, Andy?
Well, don't tell
You've all
anyone,
sorts
but
of
it's the kind of prepper skill stuff. Like if you can do things, you'll be really useful and intimate. Shh.
This is true. This is very true.
Didn't mention it. Didn't mention it.
See, that's why I like to grow unusual plants that are edible.
Yes.
From a prepping perspective, someone looks at my garden and goes, "There's nothing to eat." I look at my garden and go, what are we going to cook tonight?
Well, I'm sure the same here. People will just walk on by. Nothing here.
Oh, they're not going
What's
to have
that?
a clue what a pigeon pea is, are they? And they're certainly
Or
not
a
going to know what a
marine-
Madagascar bean is.
Or a moringa or anything else.
That's right.
And they can,
Adam
right now,
loves cutting stones.
here's my sad tale. Right now, they can look in my bloody aquaponics tank and they won't find nothing to eat in there either.
No. No
Which is
fishy.
different. The grow bed's still going well, I've got to say.
Oh, that's good. Are you?
Yeah,
what are you putting into the feed? Like, what are you?
No,
What ammonia are you putting
No.
into the system?
nothing.
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 You probably will want to put something in. Because even when you're not feeding the fish, they're still breathing out the ammonia.
Yes, I know.
So you
I know.
probably do want to put some sea salt or some wormweed or something in there.
No, when comes time, I'll do ponics.
Oh, okay. Yes, that works beautifully. I've been contemplating getting the boys to do that in their system because Matthew's been supposed to be putting sea salt in his system every day, and he's supposed to be checking the pH and ammonia levels so that we can watch the nitrogen cycle. But do you think he's doing it?
Oh, so you actually know the boys produce more ammonia and nitrogen than girls?
It's a lot easier for you guys to actually put it in there too.
I'm usually scared to say that because I don't want anyone to think I'm a sexist pig. It's
got
true.
nothing to do with sexism. You just do. You guys produce more ammonia than we do. Not to mention, it is a lot easier for you to actually put it into the system than it is for us.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
A lot simpler. And Jonathan, at the moment, my 4-year-old, is every now and then it's like, I need to find a tree. And I'm like, really? Can't you go inside? He's like, no, I need a tree.
What does he need a tree for?
Practice his aim. And his aim is dreadful. It's watering the whole top of the tree instead of the base of the tree. Oh, goodness. But
got to teach that boy.
Yeah. And I mean, he's not going to learn if he doesn't get to. I mean, when he's in the toilet inside, he's got to sit down. He's not allowed to stand up because he'll get it all over the wall and it'll be everywhere.
I do the same with my grandkids. You sit down. It's what you do. Look at me. I sit down. Look at this. I'm sitting down. Can you see? Bloody boys.
Oh, look at that. Wild Edibles has put your pigeon pea video up. Thank you, Wild.
Thanks, mate. That's very nice of you.
Bibby says their garden's hidden.
Why is the garden hidden, Bibby?
It's in the backyard. So you won't be able to really see much from the front. She's got a few things in the pot in the front.
I'm actually, as some folks know, I've moved on to the footpath because my yard's about the size of a postage stamp.
Bibby says the tomatoes love pea. Ask Agent. Didn't Agent not have a lot of luck with tomatoes in pots?
That's why.
That could be why.
Too much nitrogen.
Too much nitrogen and ammonia.
Good on you, Agent. That's an Andrew for you. These bloody Andrews.
What are we going to do with them, huh? What are we going to do? We're going to have 2 of you in the same airspace.
Yeah, to worry.
Archer's been standing up to Wee since he was 18 months old. Gotta love boys. Matthew actually stood up from the very beginning, and oh my goodness, I had so much mess to clean up.
Oh man.
When I found out I was pregnant with Jonathan, I was literally traumatized by the whole toilet training from the second I found out I was having a boy.
Very cool.
Toilet training was not something I have enjoyed with my 3 children.
Well, I worry. I think I was a woman in my last life because there's some severe role reversal happening in our house. So Rosie tends to do the lawn and a lot of the gardening. I'm inside doing the cooking. I do the vacuuming. I do the bathrooms. A lesser man would be sexually challenged. I'm just saying.
Possibly. Apparently, Agent still misses. Did we just say that a public video? Yes, we did. Sorry, Agent.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not technically in the room at the moment, is he?
Andrew. You dirty, dirty man.
He obviously didn't have enough practice at trees when he was a kid.
If he was married 3 times like me, he would have been beaten into submission And if there's an error, it's got to be corrected instantly. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, it should be. What's the sign that you can get for the toilet walls? We aim to please. Aim to please.
Yes, yeah, it's true.
Nettie,
Yep.
you got really lucky.
Now I need to take a brief interlude. Not for the same reason. No.
That may not have been
No.
the best phrasing of Ed's question.
Yeah, good on you, Ed. But for this reason, I'll be back.
That's good to know.
Now I've got to work. How do I pause this bloody thing? Oh, there it is.
You can
Okay.
actually just turn the camera and the video off if you want to.
Done
the
that,
camera and the
done
audio.
that.
Yep, got the camera off. Good job. Robert's just asked Andy, how bad is it? You sit to pee, does she stand? Might have to wait for him to come back. You even taught the kids how to change the toilet rolls in the last couple of weeks. Well done, Nettie. That one's just a miracle. It's a real challenge. Mind you, I mean, us girls, we don't have to aim. We just sit down and it goes where it needs to go. Although, that being said, I have a composting toilet, right? So, and we have a commode chair basically that sits on top of a 20-litre bucket. I think that's 5 gallons. No, it'd be more than 5 gallons. I don't know. It's a 20-litre bucket. So it goes underneath the commode chair. And if I haven't got the bucket raised up enough, then things don't quite go where you want them to go. So that can get a bit messy. But absolutely love the composting toilets. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, basically all it is a commode chair on top of a 20-litre bucket and sawdust. And then once you finish with it, you stick it out in we've got 4 pallets stuck together in like a cubic metre area. Fill that up with the sawdust, and then in 2 years' time, we've got lovely compost for around the fruit trees. Lovely. Anyway. Cheerios in the toilet bowl for targets. I actually tried with Matthew. I put ping pong balls in there and it didn't work. He still missed. Your timing is horrible. Oh, where did I miss? Adam said, I saw a sign that said, grab your diddle and piddle in the middle. That's funny. Now, Andy, Robert asked, how bad is it? You sit to pee, does she stand? I think he's being a bit cheeky.
You
we
obviously
can tell
don't.
Your internet's
working. He doesn't know my Rosie, does he? No, Robert, she does not. She is rather the lady. She wears ladies' clothes.
Robert never misses if he uses the Cheerios. Temperature down here. That is a good question. I'm not sure what the temperature is at the moment.
It's bloody cold.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Oh, you killed my bloody fish, woman.
That was one day.
No, not today. That was a week ago, but anyway.
I was going to say, it's not that cold today.
Yesterday was a shocker.
It was a bit cool.
Now, most people won't appreciate, Carol, when you've got to understand we're Aussies. So
True.
most people won't appreciate what we mean is cold. So if it gets below 10 degrees as a minimum, we think we're dying. We knock down walls in our house and we set fire to the wood. If it doesn't
We
reach,
have beanies on our heads.
yeah, if
And
it doesn't reach 20 degrees in the day, we still think it's freezing cold. So we won't go outside. Nah. Or we will if we're wearing ski gear. Ski gear is good. Now, I've seen videos on YouTube, right, where this white stuff falls out of the sky. But I don't, yeah.
I honestly, my boys would love it if it snowed. I don't think I would cope.
I don't think I would either.
Hi, Mrs. Living Simple Homestead. Hi, Abby's Life on the Farm. It's lovely to see you both here.
Can I? I'll do it. I'll do a true confession. Unless you want to talk, Caroline. I might have been a fatty. Can I just? I'll put that out there. I may have been well over 100 kilos, and I may have lost it with my healthy, stupid farmsteading lifestyle. I may have lost a fair few kilos. In fact, today I almost hit my 80 kilo mark, so that means I've lost well over 20 kilos.
Well done.
Oh boy, I feel the cold. I feel
you would be.
the cold.
You would be feeling the cold a lot more now.
Oh, hell yeah.
A lot more now. So, yeah, it's supposed to get down to 5 degrees Celsius here tonight. Oh, like
man.
7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Do you want me to help you knock down a wall or two?
Would you believe that we don't even have the heaters on?
No. No, I don't.
No heaters.
No.
No heaters. I do have the beanie on, and I do have like 5 blankets on the bed. It's really funny. I've got the boys in sleeping bags with a whole heap of blankets on top of them as well.
That's sensible, not funny. Sensible.
Not when the 4-year-old turns into a roast potato. You look at him and he's sweating, and I'm like, oh, I might need to take a blanket or two off.
Did you rub him in butter and see what happened?
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Poor little fella.
Oh, the ridiculous part is he comes out and he's an absolute icicle, and he's going, I'm so hot, Mummy. And I'm like,
Poor little bugger.
And then he's sitting there roasting like he's so hot, and he's like, I'm cold, where's my jumper? And I'm like, oh dear.
Now I might go controversial again. I worked out today that a couple of days ago, 6 degrees is cold. I worked out a couple of days ago, I gave up cigarettes for 9 years. Hence the silly electric cigarette, which I don't recommend for anybody who's not given up smoking. If you're giving up real cigarettes, get on one of them, because psychologically they're a big help. Otherwise, don't do it.
I went cold turkey.
Oh, ooh.
It did take a few times for it to stick, and a lot of times it would be like I'd quit for a couple of years, and then I had this one friend, if I went over to her place and you sat at a coffee table having a cup of coffee, the next thing you knew there was a cigarette in your hand.
Yeah, I did a couple of those as well.
Yeah.
The electric
She's
durry.
one of those people that I find very difficult not to have a cigarette with.
Yeah,
Although
well,
I don't think I've had one for probably 15 years now.
that's good going.
Yeah. I have no interest in no hankering for one at all. So I'm really pleased about that. I think I finally kicked it.
I'm finally at that stage too. And for probably at least the last 7 or 8 years, there's been no nicotine in the electric cigarette.
Nice.
Good on you, Robert. Thank you, mate.
Nettie gives the boys lots of extra blankets because they get cold. Hey, Serge. Lovely to see you.
Oh, I've subscribed to Surge. I keep seeing things pop up, but I'm a bit stretched. And Surge, I promise you, my friend, I will get there and have a look at a few of your videos in the next day or two.
It is a bit tricky.
I love what you do, son. Love it.
Oh, now before I forget, I keep meaning to bring down on Boddington Farm because they hit 600 subscribers. Yay! I did mention it earlier in the live, but I don't think Bibby was on at the time, so I wanted to bring it up again. Congratulations, Bibby and Agent. That is awesome. Very excited for you.
Go, you good fangs.
Very exciting. And it's almost 9 a.m. Sunday for Firefly Farm. Now, where are you again? Because it's a little bit later than that. Sunday was a lovely day. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. We did. And if you're still in bed at 9 a.m., that's got to be a good thing.
Or either that or she's freezing cold.
Not in America. If it's 9 a.m., she's got to be in America somewhere. I'm pretty sure she's in America.
Oh, and North America's had a heat wave.
Oh, yeah, they've had a huge heat wave.
Yeah. There was over 200 people died in Canada from the heat.
New York. I had a feeling it was New York or somewhere around that area. My geography for America is shocking. Good morning, the best life. Lovely to see you. I think everyone must be waking up. Oh, we've got Living Simple Homestead here as well as Mrs. Living Simple Homestead. Thank you for joining us.
All the Yanks are getting up. It's time to rise and shine, folks.
It is. Although they're probably, with the heat wave going on, they're probably wishing it wasn't rising and shining. So they've been getting a heap of rain there in other areas too. 7 a.m. in Montana. Well, it is 11:45 in the evening here in Queensland.
Lordy, you're right. God damn, it's late. Oh, I've slipped into the American accent. Sorry about that.
It's Will It Grow. Good evening, John. How are you? He's enjoying Gail lurking.
What the hell's Gail lurking?
Gail Southern Living started that whole thing. She was just hiding in the background for of lives and not saying much. So it coined the whole Gail lurking.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's where it works anyway. And Mr. Time to Shine Homestead says he wants my beanie in blue or red. He likes my beanie. I'll have to get your address if you want one. You'll have to email it to me.
You might want to do my hair in blue or red as well. No, not blue. Maybe red. Or black. Black used to be good. I kind of remember, I think.
See, mine's still natural. I've got occasional greys there, but they're a bit hard to find.
Why do I find that very frustrating? In fact, I might come and poo in your aquaponics tank tomorrow.
Pee would be better.
No, I think I'm doing it.
Don't really want human excrement in there.
That's the whole point.
Ammonia, I'm happy with.
That's the whole point, mate. I'm trying to take you out. Woman with no grey hair.
I've got an occasional. There's a couple there.
Yeah, me too.
I'm only 46.
I've got the odd one. Look, can you see the odd one?
Biddy John saying congrats on the 600. And saying there went the neighbourhood Willet grows in here. And Robert's going, pew, pew. I'm assuming that's to your
And my
your
poo
offer
comment,
to
yeah.
add nutrients to my aquaponics.
Only trying to help.
Nettie says she needs to dye her hair, not liking my grey glitter. See, now I've decided that when I do go grey, I'm going to do it gracefully because I've worked hard for every single one of those grey hairs and I'm not going to hide it. See, you've worked hard for all of those.
I bloody have. What was
I know my
the
first one turned up when my now 24-year-old left home at 16. That's when the first one started showing up, but they seem to have settled down a fair bit.
what was the company you were showing at the start of the live that was
Tonight?
into the child? Yeah.
It's I will
Just
put it up
vaguely.
again.
No. Don't put it up. Just give me the lowdown.
Oh, okay. It's based there. I've actually known the couple for crumbs. Gavin and I have been married for 13 years, and I knew them for about 5 years before that. So coming on to 18 years, I've known them for. Nancy and Albert Bowie are just an absolutely beautiful Indigenous couple, and they're working on creating homes for orphaned Indigenous children.
Nice.
And making it so that, like, one of the unique qualities of the homes that they're setting up is that they're actually basing it on a family model. So providing these kids with a good, solid family to live in. And they're also making it so that all the workers in the house are also Indigenous. So
yeah, that's great. That's great.
They're really working on providing and helping them to understand their cultural heritage and all of that sort of stuff. And
Some
they've
crazy. Keep going.
They have set up one house already where they've got a number of girls in there that they're working with, and the girls have got their own bedrooms, and they're having an opportunity to live a normal life, basically, and getting that cultural stuff that they need. They really do need it. So they're putting all that in. So at the moment, they're actually raising funds for the second house, which is to help the Indigenous boys. So they're keeping the two houses separate. That just simplifies things.
I can't understand why. What?
Don't want to create the extras.
Keep teenage boys separate from the girls. Why would you do that?
Can't alive and me figure that one out. So yeah, it's hi Tiffany.
The reason
at the moment they're working on raising some funds, so they're needing $20,000 to be able to set up each house, basically, so that it helps to cover a few months worth of rent, as well as the bond, as well as furnishing the house and setting up all the workers in the house until the government funding stuff kicks in. So
nice.
Yes. So if anybody is able to help them, it is a fantastic cause. It is really, really vital, because these kids, if they don't go into one of Nancy and Albert's homes, then they will just be in a state institution. And yeah, they get food and shelter. Whereas with Nancy and Albert, they're going to get a real opportunity to have a good start at life. And Nancy and Albert actually homeschooled their 5 children. I'm pretty sure they've got 5, and they run a big ministry where they reach out to the Indigenous Australians and all that sort of stuff, and have a really big impact in the communities. And because they are one of them, they know the culture, whereas when we go in, we step all over cultural feet and cause more offences unknowingly and unwittingly. And with all the best of intentions, still make big mistakes.
They
So
might, and Nancy and Albert might want to. Well, I'm more than happy if they want to get in touch. I used to, when there was some good days where we had kids in youth detention that used to actually get out to do some work experience, and we used to set up visits into the communities, and we always looked after the sorry business properly. That was probably me. So if they ever want to get in touch, they should feel more than welcome. I'd be more than happy to talk and help in any small way that I can, without treading on their toes. It's not what I do.
It becomes really difficult with the whole cultural differences. I know I accidentally went and trampled all over some toads the other day, and totally unintentionally. Chocolate sounds good. Always up for chocolate.
It's easy to do.
Oh, it is. And the Indigenous culture is so different from the non-Indigenous culture. I don't even know what to call us. I mean, I got into a interesting discussion, so shall we say, and probably half of it was the fact it was over social media. So you lose so much when you're doing it, when you're having a conversation just by typing. You lose all that tonality, you lose the facial expressions, the whole lot is just gone. And if somebody's already cranky and they have an assumption, then yeah, it's all good. I understood that the Indigenous culture had a problem with the British that came in and colonised, which I know that's not what they call it, but I hadn't realised that they had a problem with all non-Indigenous settlers. That I did not understand.
What, currently or at the time?
Currently.
Not all.
Oh, never applies to everybody.
Yeah, I was going. No, more than that. Understand the Indigenous community is not homogeneous. It's It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's a whole lot of little groups, which is what's really rich about it. I'm not being critical.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, no, not necessarily as black and white as that.
No, and that's probably half of my problem as well. I tend to think in black and white a lot, and a lot of nuances I miss. I just don't see them. I trampled all over feet and didn't even realise I did it. I was trying to be. But yes, anyway, it wasn't Nancy and Albert that I upset. It was actually one of their daughters. But that's...
Well, even most of the Murray people will tell you, you're talking about 300 different countries who happen to be black skinned. So what? You expect a Swiss guy to get on with a German, to get on with a Frenchman, to get on with a Pom? It's not going to work that way, does it? No. And that was the beauty of what we did when we turned up here. We said, oh, well, you're all black. We'll just shove you on these missions. And why didn't they get on? Why didn't they get on? Surprise, surprise.
No. So yeah, and I know I still don't have any clue, and I probably have a very different perspective on it as well, because I was, with all the work I was trying to do with the Eagleby wetlands to try to protect it from the freeway that the government's trying to put through there. We, as a group, we had a challenge communicating with the local Indigenous people. So we were having trouble finding out any information that would help save the area. So, yes.
Oh, it's tricky. It's not easy.
It's not. It's very complex, and the cultural differences are just. I mean, and I'm not normal from an Australian perspective. I'm not normal. I know I'm not normal. I mean, none of us, anyone that homesteads is not normal. Not in a bad way. I don't mean that as an insult.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We don't do the whole. A lot of us are not into the whole materialism stuff. I mean, we're gardeners. Can it grow something? But I know there's there appears to be a thought pattern that all Australian settlers are materialistic. And well, we're not. You can't. I mean, if there's one thing I've learned is you cannot label anything the same because we're all different.
That's not something I've run into.
Okay.
And I've dealt with. I'm not criticising. Don't get me wrong.
No.
I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong.
No.
I've just dealt with an awful lot of Aboriginal and Islander people, and today is different to yesterday. Most folks I know would love yesterday just to be recognised.
Okay.
You know, what happened was god awful. It really was.
Oh, it was. It was shocking.
And I'm sorry that we didn't recognise the expertise. Did you know? Here we go. This is Bruce Pascoe's work. The first people to make bread, Aborigine people.
Really?
They made it from kangaroo grass, probably 50,000 years ago.
Isn't that
Do you know where the biggest aquaculture system in the world is? It was an old Aboriginal system in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, when the bushfires happened, it burned it out and made it clear. Hey, look at this. What's this? Oh, God, it's a big aquaculture system.
Mm.
So, yeah, really stunning stuff. And, you know, the slow burn technology, we're now cooking in bushfires. It's just wonderful stuff. The food that was native here that we didn't recognise, so we put corn and wheat and all that stuff in.
Yeah.
We
Not a
brought
clue.
cows and sheep and all that stuff. What a shame. There's plenty of livestock here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, really is stunning when you start to catch on to, well, and not surprising really, 50,000 years of managing the land and living off the land and doing pretty bloody good.
Yeah, well, they survived here for ages.
Oh, it was one of the few cultures that had no need for war. And the reason it had no need for war was because they produced food, now get ready for this, from the west coast right the way across to the east coast, through desert, through everything. It was all, no Aboriginal person starved.
Yeah. I mean, and so much of that wisdom is lost. I was actually watching The Gourmet Farmer. His season 5. He's doing a whole heap of stuff on regenerative agricultural stuff this season.
Yep.
And one of the episodes, he was actually talking about how in Tasmania, when the colonists came in, they wiped out all the Aboriginals and never found out what foods were actually down there that were edible.
Yep.
So there's a whole heap of natives that they wouldn't have a clue what's edible and what's not.
And we're still looking. We're still looking to try and work out what can you eat, what's good, what's not. That's a little journey I've started to go on. You know, to put in midgeonberry and native thyme and a whole lot of stuff that I'm really hoping pays off.
Yeah. I mean, and there's a lot that we need to learn.
Well, what are you suggesting that you can't pick up all the food that was grown in England, move it to a place like Australia, and it doesn't do good? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, and not only that, but then
Very different climates.
and then we thought we'd do a bonus, so we gave them rabbits and European bees and foxes.
What a delight they are!
But apparently rich people can hunt them on horses. So I've heard.
Oh, it's insane.
Now, I'm going to have to black out the camera again.
Glass is empty, huh? I'll have to catch up on some of those chats.
It's not even half full. Not even half full.
So Crazy Head says that John's going to have to watch what he's saying when you're going to make me sheriff. So you're going to make him sheriff when you know you've tamed him. Have you actually tamed any of us, John? And Nettie, I agree. Love the Gourmet Farmer completely. It's definitely a challenge, though, having to wait so long between seasons. Yeah, it definitely seems to be a consensus that none of us are normal, which is probably why you're all here. You probably wouldn't be here if you weren't normal. Wouldn't want to be on a channel with me being crazy. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. If anyone wants to come and join the panel, you're most welcome. But yeah, it would be absolutely fantastic if you could support the Building Strong Families. As I said, they're looking for about 20 grand over the next month to be able to support these kids. It would be really, really great if you guys could. What have I done here? Wrong button. That's always fun. This. Where am I going? I put them on the wrong thing. That's down on Boddington Farm again. Phoebe and Agent are awesome. So yeah, so these are my friends, Albert and, well, that's Albert and that's Nancy Bowie. They're a lovely couple. Yeah, absolutely. I'll share it on Facebook later and share the whole thing. Well, I'll share a link to their website anyway. So they're a lovely couple and they're doing a really good work helping to transform generations and help them to really get back on their feet and all that sort of thing. It's all good, Tom. Apparently, John thinks that Time to Shine is totally tamed. Robert's saying like SpongeBob in leathery cringy. Not a huge fan of SpongeBob. Yeah, so this is the group that's doing the Building Strong Families generational stuff, generational care.
That's great.
And
That's fantastic.
They got the stuff here on how you can help and donate, raising children to fulfill their purpose. They really are a lovely family and they're doing some amazing work. Reaching out to the community. There's a lot there.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. That really is very good.
So Nancy has more than 30 years of lived experience as a wife, mother of nine homeschooled children, and an Aboriginal artist and business owner. There seems to be something wrong with the way this is setting out. There we go. I had the size wrong. Her extensive work with families from urban, rural and remote location helps Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people overcome challenges associated with understanding spirituality, coping with historical trauma, implementing self-development. Nancy's lovely. Absolutely lovely.
The Bowies. I don't know the Bowies, actually. That's not a criticised. I just don't know.
Well, they do a lot of their stuff in Logan.
Okay.
Like that's where I know them from. That's where I met them. They actually they did a heap of work in Cherbourg in Queensland. So they did a lot of outreach stuff there, working with the families there.
I've done a bit in Cherbourg as well. That was my set up some sorry business stuff for the detention centre.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great.
Nettie, I think you can do more than you think you can. But yeah, 9. I'm not sure why I thought 5. But yeah, she's homeschooled 9 children.
Yeah,
She's amazing.
You were being sensible.
Amazing.
That's why you said 5. That's sensible. 9. 9's incredible.
They're an amazing couple. And it's 9 of their own children. Like it's
wow.
They've only got the same mum and dad. So all 9 of those kids have got the same parents. And they are just the most beautiful people I have ever met. Just love them to bits. I really do. I absolutely love them to bits.
Gerald, are you saying that to counter the myth that every Aboriginal child comes from a different set of parents?
No,
because otherwise, well, I was going to say otherwise.
Any child in Australia that has 9 children in their family, I would actually be more inclined to think that the white, or more to the point, non-Indigenous, those families are more broken than the Indigenous ones. That's my opinion. I haven't got anything to back that.
I was going to say, I think we share equally, and that's the whole point. Like, let's not.
Probably.
It doesn't matter. Let me tell you, I've seen a lot of folks. It doesn't matter.
I mean, there's a lot of blended families around the world at the moment. So regardless of what your gender or race or colour or creed is, to have 9 children with the same parents, I would consider a miracle.
Yeah, I agree. You've got to be a glutton for punishment. Fair income. What's wrong with you?
Their kids are lovely. Their kids are absolutely beautiful. They are the most beautiful people.
I was pulling your leg,
when a mum goes back for round 2, it's a glutton for punishment. And I had 3.
Well,
mine are 3 very well spaced out too.
Yeah,
I remember,
good move.
because Crystal's 24. When I got pregnant with Matthew, he's 12 on Wednesday. All my friends were like, "You're insane." They didn't even bother saying you're insane when I got pregnant with Jonathan. He's 4. I think they'd all given up hope on me by then.
Have you got a 4-year-old?
I do have a 4-year-old.
You're insane.
I do sometimes wonder what possessed me to go back again. Although half of the problem was I had trouble. We were actually trying to get pregnant for 7 years. So.
Well, I was only teasing again. I had to do it. You know that. I couldn't help myself.
Absolutely. So Willigro John's parents had more, and they are all completely different from each other. Yeah. I mean, back in that generation is different, but today, I mean, Australian statistics are most people are having less than 2 children in a couple. So we don't even have replacement number of children being born, and haven't done since. I think they say
Replacement
you need
value.
to have 2.5 children per couple to have replacement, to keep up with
Population growth.
population growth. Yeah, to maintain the population. So that just to maintain the population, you need to have 2.5 kids each couple. That's not growth. That's just maintain. And I think we're around 1.3 kids per couple. So we haven't been having population maintenance since 1975.
That's not a bad thing. There's too
Well,
many
it
people on
actually,
the No, it's not.
it
There's too many
actually
people
is
on
a
the
problem.
planet. We just need to
Well,
take more migrants.
the problem is the majority of the populations around the world are not actually having that maintenance population.
Yes.
I don't even think what the terminology is at the
Well,
moment. I think Bill Gates said that we're about to hit peak population in like 2040 or something, and then we'll start naturally going downhill, simply
now
from the
you
fact
ready?
that people's fertility is dropping so badly. Hi, Dawn.
And
Welcome.
the rich refuse to share with the poor. So the idea that Australia would open its borders and take on a whole lot of migrants, even if they are skilled, is such a bad idea.
Yeah.
Except when you look at our economics, the times that we've done really well are when we've had a whole lot of immigration. I'm shocked.
It's actually really interesting when you look at what's happened with the population since last year. It's really, really interesting.
Spit it out, girl. Spit it out.
It is just, it's plummeted. We have no population growth.
Well, we can't have migrants.
The growth that Australia's had population-wise has not been from Australians reproducing. It has all been immigration.
Ask any Aboriginal person. These bloody migrants.
Yeah, I don't think they're very happy with us.
They're all
I
right.
mean,
They don't.
honestly, I've never had these challenges before. It's only been the last 12 months or 2 years. I've had heaps of Aboriginal friends over the years that I haven't had any problems with. It's just been the last 3 years. Maybe I'm getting more weird as I'm getting older. I don't know.
Well, I've been surprised that we've
Hey,
treated our native people like crap, and they've been so kind-hearted and so, they just are wonderful. They're wonderful people, and it gives everybody something to look up to. Like if they can act like that, why can't we?
Yeah. They've got very different values than the general Western culture. It's very different.
And
They're a very family-focused culture from what I understand. Not that I understand a huge amount, but
it's community focused.
it is. Yeah, it's community-focused more than family-focused. Whereas the Western culture is very individual.
Yes.
You want to be able to do things yourself, not
Now,
build a community.
if I can be radical, yeah, here we go, another radical. China. What most people don't get about China is that the Chinese belief very much is it's about the benefit for the majority. So if a million people are helped by me damming a particular valley, if there's 120 people live in that valley in a village and they complain, well, that's crazy. Hang on, I'm going to help a million people by displacing 120 people. What's the problem? And yes, I understand, Gerwin. I understand full well wrap your head around it. Yeah, it's
Right.
really It's interesting, isn't it?
Well, see,
And
there's
what's
things that have been
worse?
stopped because of one frog, let alone 120 people been stopped because of a frog.
Exactly. And then you wrap your
Then
head
someone went
around
and ran over the thing.
and then people will say, well, hang on, but they're offering them new houses, they're wonderful houses, but all 120 are spread hell, west and crooked across the whole country. So what does that do with your sense of community? But you're helping 1,000,000 people. Like it's a whole, you got to really struggle. It's a struggle to wrap your mind around how do I deal with this? Like, what values do I put on it?
Yep. I don't
You're
know
right,
the
Robert.
answer. I totally agree, Robert. It's
None of us do.
no.
None of us do. And is there a right answer?
I don't know.
No. Well, sometimes I look at the Chinese stuff, and I'll put this up front. I have my grandson is Chinese. My daughter-in-law. I was going to say daughter because that's how I feel about it. My daughter-in-law is Chinese. It's difficult to wrap your head around. It's you just got to think about it. One of the most confronting things I ever had was my stepmom, who's an Islander, was talking to me once about Aboriginal people in very unkind terms.
Mm.
And geez, I struggled with that. Like I really did have to struggle, when the only thing I can the only way I can wrap my head around it and try and make sense of it is one of the things I'm very, very proud of is that my family history is complete mongrel. So I've got German, I've got Scottish, I've got English, I've got American, I've got Persian, I've got Italian. Like you rake it in, it's all there.
Yeah.
And I think, well,
I'm a mongrel just as much. I've got
yeah,
most of those except for the Persian and the American.
well, it's so good because you
Yeah.
don't judge. You don't, one of my greatest, and the Pigeon Pea video is testament to this. One of my greatest disappointments is one of my sons did not marry a girl from India. You buggers. I wanted some
He could
Indian
cook.
in the family for the cooking.
You want the curry, don't you?
I love the curry. I love the curry.
I mean, it's
Thai curry, Indian curry. I love curry.
we really need to celebrate our diversity more than we do. I mean,
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
it wasn't prepping 101. Oh, I can see his face. I can't remember what his name is. That's really bad. But he put a video up, and I can't even remember what it was now. But my comment was along the lines of, "I was raised to accept people as they were, and not to judge people." And a heap of people commented the same sort of things. And somebody else commented, "But does everybody else think that way?" And when I had to think back on it, no, a lot of them don't. I mean, you think about it, kids at school pick on people that are different.
Mm.
They don't accept the different ones. They pick on them. So really, I think we need to find a way to teach everyone to accept and embrace the diversity.
I was going to say it doesn't matter.
No.
I'm putting out videos. Yeah, but I've been to Portugal, mate, John. I've been to Portugal, and I've in fact enjoyed the Portuguese food. That was the first time I had suckling pig, my friend. Love it. And I brought a whole lot of stuff home, like the Portuguese tiles and all sorts of stuff that I've made artwork out of. But anyway, let's not digress.
Tiffany's got some Portuguese. Her husband.
That's good. That's it. That'll work.
Drop's families are Vikings. They raided and hoard everywhere.
Oh, drop. Share some recipes, my friend.
Yeah. Thorhaven Farm, I think, are doing some recipes on their channel, actually. They do a lot of the Viking type. They're interested in the Viking type stuff.
Nice. Yeah, and you're right. It's about celebrate the culture. You know?
Yeah.
What's great about it, it's hard to discriminate against someone when you look at it and say, oh, geez, I love that tucker. And, oh, geez, I love such and such about them. Oh, and the other thing they do is this and that and the other. Oh, I love that. But, geez, that makes it hard to follow. It makes it hard to discriminate, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's actually interesting. I remember thinking ages ago that all countries are so multicultural now. How could you have a world war? Because there are so many different cultures all mixed in.
Oh, we'll do it. We'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it. We are
well,
truly
now
stupid.
it seems to be more idealism rather than patriotism that's going to cause the wars.
And a fair bit of nationalism, you know, this bloody business about Australians are great and Australia's good, or America's fantastic, Americans are fantastic, Chinese are great, you know, the world's picking on us, let's stand up. Oh no, Indians great, you know, Pakistanis are picking on us. Yeah, get over it. Like, it's a small world. We're on one planet. It's a tiny planet. You ready?
And it's having some challenges.
And you can actually measure it. And we're buggering it up really good.
Bankerism probably is one of our biggest problems.
Yeah. That, and it's a tiny planet. Stop cocking it up.
Yes. I mean, I think it's Jeff Lawton that says that all the world's problems could be solved in a food forest garden. We all need to plant our own food and grow our own food and build communities.
That's the trick. Build community.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, you know, get to know your neighbour. Actually stick your head over the fence and say, hello. Here's who I am.
Idea getting to know your neighbours.
Would you like some eggs? I've got ample eggs. Would you want some?
With the amount of quail and chickens you've got, you would have enough eggs.
Well, and not only that, but you never get a council complaint if you're supplying your neighbours with eggs.
That's right. So Drop's saying if you travelled the world, you would come to the conclusion that it's a small planet and most people just want to live in peace and raise a family. Exactly, Drop.
Amen.
Totally agree. The big problem is family is under attack in a huge way at the moment. I'm not sure if people even know what that is anymore. So many people have got their heads in devices, which I guess at the moment I'm encouraging and enabling, aren't I? I'm giving you all something to watch and interact with on a device. But it's really sad that relationships and families and communities are breaking down. And we really need to working on building that up. And that's something we can do with our YouTube channels. We can start building communities. And I love the community that Will It Grow and Homestead Aquarius and Arkansas Woodcutter have created with Shed Wars 21 and Shed Wars. It's just I am very grateful. The old ladies love your eggs, do they, Bibi? That's awesome. Yeah, you're right. YouTube's awesome. We don't need a plane ticket to go meet other cultures. Get rid of the bankers, problem solved. I don't know whether bankers are necessarily the problem. I think the media is probably more of the problem, and it's people wanting stuff. And if people weren't so focused on stuff and were more focused on relationships and community, then they wouldn't turn to the bankers to get the stuff. It's a problem. So Tiffany worked on a love project around the world, and it didn't matter. We needed to use a translator to communicate. We all had one goal, spreading our love around the world. Yep, that's good. So excited about your first blue egg wall. That's so cool. Nettie's saying that when they had their big garden, they'd share heaps of produce with everyone. It'll happen again, Nettie. You've got water again now. Yep, lots of new global family. While saying, Nettie, that's important. We have people who walk by and admire our garden I offer, and many are so happy to get garden food. John's saying it's sad us humans stopped making humans 20 years ago. Now we only make robots.
Actually, John, I think we've had a revival. I think there's
so.
a growing awareness that we need to get back to reality, back to the planet, stop killing the world with plastic and everything else. And lots of people, and Corona was really good for this. A lot of people worked out.
I think it was. I think there have been a lot of good things that have come out of this whole last 18 months.
That's what I was saying. Corona's been really good for this movement.
It has.
I couldn't get a chick for love or money because everybody decided, we need to get a bit self-sufficient. Well, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
How good is that?
It is good. I mean, it's helped people to actually start thinking about what is important. Like, I know everybody hates the lockdowns, but it starts to help you to realize what actually is important.
Can I say, honestly, I don't care about lockdowns.
No.
It doesn't change my day very much.
Honestly, this last one was the only one that affected me really even in the slightest, and that was because my father-in-law was getting married.
Okay.
And the lockdown was making it so that, and we didn't know until Friday morning if we were going to be able to go to the wedding.
Right.
And my family was the only one of the 4 kids that were actually, so we live in the Lockyer Valley. Another family, my husband's brother lives in the Gold Coast, and his sister lives in Brisbane, and his other sister lives in Melbourne. So Melbourne couldn't come because Queensland borders were shut. Brisbane couldn't come because they were still in lockdown.
Yep.
Gold Coast couldn't come because the kids were all sick.
No.
So it ended up just being us out of, I think there were like 25 of us, and only 5 were able to come from his immediate, like his kids and grandkids. So that was sad. But other than that.
Yeah, but you can't count the sick kids, mate. Sick kids.
Yeah, they're sick. They wouldn't have been able to come anyway. I mean, the lockdown wasn't good. I mean, Gavin wasn't able to work because he's not considered an essential worker. So it is going to affect our budget next week.
Yeah, sure.
Which is going to make it
Yeah.
harder to save up for that silly roof to get done. But there are a lot of good things that have come out of it.
Chickens. I was surprised. Sorry, I'm reading as well. I was surprised at one stage that big hardware store name that we all know over here actually
Yes.
ran out of seedlings because every bugger decided, I need to
Yes.
plant some food. Well, you know what, folks? You don't just buy that stuff, put it in the ground and it works. You've actually got to get some experience and work out what to
Well, you
do.
do. Yes, the lockdown was not nice for your income, Nettie. That was very bad.
Sorry, I'm watching that as well. That's why I'm quiet. I'm not known for being quiet normally.
No.
Quite the opposite. Sorry.
I mean, the lockdown has caused a lot of problems. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's all great because it has caused a heap of problems. I mean, I've got a heap of friends that can't get back into the country because either they're not willing to get the jab for various reasons, or they don't have the money, or the government hasn't got the caps in the right spot so that they can come.
That's right.
It has been very bad for the economy, but I think our economy is a very big problem. People are in too much debt.
Caroline?
Yes.
It's not actually been that bad.
Not for Australia.
No, we're okay. Don't tell anyone. Shh.
No.
Worldwide, it's been a shocker.
It hasn't been that bad for Australia, really.
Yeah, worldwide, it's been a shocker.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting kind of thing. And anyway, I'm not going to say anything about.
Yes, go tend the garden, John. Thanks for joining us.
Go, mate, go. Another thing that I haven't shared with anyone is I've actually got an economics degree as well. But
is there anything you don't know about?
Yes, chemistry. I'm not good at chemistry or physics or there's tons of stuff. I do, however, also have a psychology degree, but don't say that. Shh. Shut up.
It would have been quite scary. Oh.
I bet.
You have no idea how hard it is to not click on that. Simply the fact that it says don't show this, my initial thought was click. I didn't. I'm using self-control. The hand is here. I'm not clicking.
Don't do it, mate. Don't do it.
No, I'm not doing it. Although I think it just being in the comments, YouTube might complain. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Nah.
How come you look like you got a face with colour and mine looks like it's black and white?
Different colour, different lighting.
I'm not a zombie face, honestly. I'm not. True God.
Different lighting. Different lighting.
Hang on. I've got to fix it. I'm telling you, I'm not a zombie. I'm not.
Honestly, Peter, yeah, it could have been a lot worse. A lot worse. Yes, this collaboration is going to be very interesting, Bibby. Now, that raises a question. Nettie asked, is this a masterclass we're doing or a collaboration? And really, it's kind of a bit of both.
Collaboration.
But Bibby and Agent are calling it a masterclass.
That's okay.
And it is a masterclass on the cheese stuff.
On the what?
The cheese stuff is kind of like, well, it's not, I don't know.
Oh, are you kidding me? That idiot that's doing the cheese stuff, he's a buffhead.
You really shouldn't talk about yourself that way, Andy.
How can you call that a masterclass? You're talking about ricotta cheese. Any buffhead can make that.
Maybe we should call it the Homesteading 101 rather than Masterclass.
Yeah. Buffhead City. And that's what Bibi said with her prepper wine. Buffhead City, here we come.
Mind you, Darren's comments weren't very nice.
What did
no,
Darren say?
Darren said yesterday on Bibi's live, it was like, with the 3 channels involved, it was going to be a disaster.
I kill you.
I think that's a slight exaggeration, although I possibly would have been more inclined to call it Homesteading 101 rather than Masterclass.
Well, I've got to say, ricotta's pretty easy.
Yeah.
And that in fact, that's the point that I want to make. You don't need to be a chemist. You don't need to be a technical expert. And in fact, I'm going to break all the rules, and I'm going to do it by, thanks, Tiff, I'm going to do it by sight. So rather than measure anything, I'll provide people with the measurements, but rather than do it by that, I'm going to do it by sight. Because that's how they used to do it.
Well, true. Now, Tiffany's got the answer to your whole lighting concern and why you look great, black and white light.
I saw that, yeah. That's why I said, thanks, Tiff.
Oh, there you go. Well, says the same.
All right, you ready, guys? I happen to be a photographer. I actually understood what... sorry, Geraldine, but I did understand what the issue was. You want to talk about cooling and warming filters as well?
I am so rusty on all of that stuff. I mean, I've got a double degree in IT and multimedia, but it has been a long time since I actually worked with any of it.
Oh, I'm just
I've
a
been
madman, that's
homeschooling
all.
3 kids.
I just do stuff because I want to work out how do you do that? Oh, I'll have a crack.
Yeah, that's about the size of
It's
it.
the story of my life.
What does that button do? Click on
How
that.
do you make booze?
What did I do?
Yeah. How do I make booze? I'll have a crack. How do they make cheese? Yeah, I'll have a crack. Can you grow fish at home? Yeah, I can grow fish at home. Let's have a look.
Good job, Drop. Good job. I'm pretty sure we're going to have fun.
Yeah, we will have a lot of fun.
One thing I can guarantee.
Yeah. Oh, and I can promise you the ricotta will work. There's no genius here. I'd like to say I have a master's degree in cheese making. You don't need one. Shut up.
See, I'm an expert. X is an unknown quantity and a spurt is a drip under pressure.
Yeah, that's all you need to be.
Pretty much. I'll give anything a go, really.
Everybody used to make cheese from home. Everybody used to make booze at home, like Bibi's prepper wine. Like, that's what they did. That's what everyone did.
Honestly, the pieces, you don't need a piece of paper.
I like that Buffhead 101. I think we should work with that.
Homesteading 101.
That's gold. Yeah, that's real.
Uni degree in equine studies and equine and animal reproduction. See, that's actually useful. My IT skills, I can make StreamYard work. I can upload videos.
I can run a mean detention centre for you.
Not one of my skill sets.
I can do disaster recovery for you. No worries. Big storm, big flood. No worries. Yeah.
Drinking beer and farting does not make you a master cheesemaker.
You're right there, Drop. Yeah, oh yeah.
Andy is cultured.
Like a blue cheese, mate. Like a blue cheese. Very stinky. Very, very stinky. And mouldy. Parts are mouldy as well.
I actually made goat's milk yogurt today, and it worked.
Nice job, mate. Was it
I'm
hard?
pretty stoked, actually.
Was it hard?
No. I mean, hubby used to make it all the time before we got married. Earthquake. You need disaster recovery there, Andy.
I'm shocked.
You'll need to implement some disaster recovery after that earthquake.
It wasn't hard. Oh my God.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I knocked everything A over T. That's armadillo after terrestrial.
There you go. And Bibby is reminding everyone that she's a qualified funeral director and government undertaker. And she knows how to use a cremation machine.
Well, that's impressive. Can she make charcoal?
I'd probably just go with compost your enemies.
If she can make charcoal, we could do some pretty good stuff in the garden with that.
Potentially. We have a whale.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Hello. I got bunnies on the thing to give to the chickens there. They're still reminding me. There we go.
Silhouette, I'm done. I need to go to bed because it's 1:45 here. So I'll say good night. Schlaf gut.
I think Nettie is more asking with the masterclass down on Boddington Farm, what time will we finish? So it's starting at 10 a.m. But what time are we thinking of finishing? It's going to be after lunch, wasn't it?
Didn't some bloke put a schedule up so people could fill in the blanks on one of them cloudy, floaty website things?
Look at wild chicken.
Oh, they're Plymouth Rocks.
I can't remember what time was at the end.
Hang on, why am I so important? Everyone else has got a chip in here as well. They're barred Plymouth Rocks. They're good-looking chooks.
Dominique, because they have a pea comb. But I didn't know that until I started looking up barred rock and wondering why mine don't have a big comb. Found out there's something different. But that one at the back here, she is the one with the blue egg. She's an ice cream bar. It's not a breed yet, but she's a leg bar, ice bar mix. Blue egger. Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Garen, sorry, I could spot the barred Plymouth Rock so quick. I'm not an expert at everything, but I know my barred Plymouth Rocks.
They're close, man. They're close to the same thing. They probably have the same genetics, but something's different to make them have a pea comb. So, and then the Plymouth Rock have a huge, like that big comb, right? A regular one. I don't know what it's called.
Yep, a normal one. Yep.
Yeah, single comb. So, I think that's a pea comb. But I don't know the difference between pea and a rose.
Well, that's a bit bloody technical.
Yeah, I know. Chickens are getting confusing.
All right. I need to go, beautiful people, because it's very late here at night, and I'm going to say no.
Thank you for joining us, Andy. You have a good sleep.
Thanks for having
I'm
me.
going to get going.
It was a pleasure.
Get going.
It is so bright out there. Holy, I can't see in the sun. But everything's starting to come up. The mulch
Look
is
at it
really
all.
helping. The mulch in my
Great.
weeds. This is all milkweed.
Mhm.
And I only grow it for the monarch butterflies.
Yeah,
And
they would
my
love it.
irises that I had were in here. And they don't need sun right now. They're done flowering. And the milkweed take over. So milkweed and iris actually like each other, maturing at different times.
Oh, nice.
I have strawberries in here, but the only thing they're good for now is making runners, and then I move them
Okay.
because they don't get light in there. So they
No,
reach
they
for
wouldn't.
the light, but they make tons of babies, like
Ah,
everywhere. So,
that's the baby making factory.
yeah. Exactly. And we're starting to get them going. Mikey really likes the strawberries. I do too, but my favorite is peas. So I actually have peas everywhere, but we have strawberries right here, and they have pink flowers on these ones. And then some of
Nice,
them are.
Kitty. Stay warm.
We got a few off of here the other day, but
Look at
there's
them.
more. Yeah, there's some coming back. Nope, that's a toy. We're finding
Are they
toys.
the little? Are they the little strawberries like Tom's got, or are they the big ones?
They're bigger. They're store-bought ones, but they're an
Oh, okay.
ever-bearing, so they don't
Mhm.
get huge, but they get the size of your thumb. So Tom's will get big, even though they're wild, because he's
Oh,
got them really in a good spot,
mhm.
and they're getting exactly what they need, right? So the wild ones
Night,
usually
Nick.
get little, but
Thanks
his
for
are
joining us.
pretty big.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to get catnip seeds or cat mint. I think it's catnip, but it's same thing. The cats really, really like it. So I'm gonna let all those flowers go now and see if they can seed.
Mm.
Very, very shortly, the squash will be like huge. It don't
Mhm.
take them long to catch up. I gave them a drink of coffee yesterday, but those are the ones I started from seed. And I even heard Tom complaining about the ones started from the nursery.
Mhm.
That's the same kind of plant from a nursery.
Ah,
And they are not. And they were put in the same time now. So they're really green. So that's why I gave them a nice drink of coffee. But
a
there's,
drink of coffee.
yeah, watered down coffee
Okay.
is high in nitrogen, really high. And you can put your coffee grounds in a bucket of water or dump the rest of the coffee pot in there, that kind of thing. And it'll really get things going. So these ones already
Interesting.
had a drink too, but they were in the same size cup
Mhm.
and I put them in at the same time. It's kind of weird. Might be different seeds or something, like obviously, but I know Tom was complaining about the nursery ones and the ones that we started. Maybe they were using different dirt or something.
Tiffany's asked if they're ever bearing strawberries.
I'm on with Janderra right now.
They're going to block Canadians from Texas, Australia, everything.
Why?
Because Trudeau just decided to do it.
Trudeau's doing something funky.
I'm moving.
You might not want it on your live, hun.
I'll move to Europe. I'm not living in Canada to do that.
We'll let you guys go to bed and we'll figure out what's going on with
Yeah.
the new
Night,
rule.
Miles. I
We're
think
not.
it's time for me to go to bed anyway.
Yeah,
See
we're
you,
not.
Tom.
Just wait one minute, Janera. We
Yeah.
might have to watch with hate speech and
Yep.
our Star Wars, because even sarcasm might be treated as a hate speech right now. So we're
Yeah,
going to be extra friendly to everybody and show them
we're
those
trying.
rainbows, because that's what we really are anyway. We
That's
love
right. We're all
rainbows.
building community.
I'll share sun chokes with anybody who wants them. But,
As long as you're not choking them.
no.
Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me. It is getting close to midnight here, so I do need to get some sleep. But thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've all had a fun night, and I'll catch you in the comments. Remember, you're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotting. Have a great week. Bless you.